Hey, Psyche Ant fam. Great to have you back on the channel, where we explore the intriguing world of psychology and personality. Today, we're diving into one of the most reliable, detail-focused, and duty-driven personalities in the Myers-Briggs system, the ISTJ. If you've ever been curious about what makes these quiet, logical planners tick, or if you think you might be one yourself, you're in for a treat. We'll be breaking down their key traits, strengths, challenges, career choices, and so much more. So, if you're the type who loves structure, I see you ISTJs, grab a notebook, get comfy, and let's jump right in. First things first, what does ISTJ even stand for? Well, in the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI for short, it breaks down to introverted, sensing, thinking, and judging. These four letters paint a picture of a personality that's all about order, responsibility, and getting things done the right way. ISTJs are often called the inspectors or the duty fulfillers, and for good reason. They're the backbone of any system that needs precision and reliability. Imagine someone who's always on time, keeps their desk spotless, and follows through on every promise they make. That's your classic ISTJ in a nutshell. Now, the MBTI itself was created by Isabel Briggs Myers and her mother, Catherine Briggs, based on Carl Jung's theories about psychological types. It's designed to help us understand how people perceive the world and make decisions. And out of the 16 personality types it identifies, ISTJs are one of the most common, making up about 11 to 14% of the population. So chances are you know an ISTJ, or maybe you are one. Let's break it down a bit. Introverted means they recharge by spending time alone, not that they hate people, though they might not be the life of the party either. Sensing means they focus on facts and details over abstract ideas. Thinking shows they prioritize logic over emotions when deciding things. And judging? That's all about their love for structure, plans, and closure. They're not fans of leaving things up in the air. Together, these traits create a powerhouse of practicality and perseverance. But let's dive deeper into what really defines an ISTJ. Okay, let's talk about what makes ISTJs stand out. Picture this. An ISTJ walks into a chaotic situation. Papers everywhere, deadlines missed, no one knows what's going on. While others might panic, the ISTJ rolls up their sleeves, makes a checklist, and starts fixing it, step by step. That's because they're wired to create order out of chaos. They're the ones who thrive on routine, respect tradition, and believe that rules exist for a reason. According to the experts at career assessment site, ISTJs are defined by their thought processes. They gather data meticulously, analyze it with cold, clear logic, and only make a move once they're sure they've got all the facts. They're not the type to wing it or take wild guesses. They need evidence, structure, and a plan. This makes them incredibly dependable. If an ISTJ says they'll do something, consider it done. They don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk, every single time. But it's not just about work. In their personal lives, ISTJs are calm, collected, and sensible. They value consistency, think family traditions, weekly schedules, or even just keeping their home tidy. They're not flashy or overly emotional, but they show loyalty in practical ways, like finishing a task for someone they care about rather than showering them with words. Ever met someone who's quietly supportive but doesn't gush about it? That's probably an ISTJ. Now, don't get it twisted, they're not robots. They've got feelings, but they tend to keep them under wraps, focusing on what's rational over what's emotional. This can make them seem reserved or even a little distant at times, but it's just how they process the world. They're sincere, hardworking, and analytical, qualities that make them the unsung heroes in so many settings. So, what are the superpowers of an ISTJ? Oh, they've got plenty. Let's start with their reliability. If you need someone to finish a project on time, every time, with zero excuses, an ISTJ is your go-to. They're like the human equivalent of a Swiss watch, precise, consistent, and built to last. This comes from their incredible focus and motivation. Once they commit to something, they see it through, no matter what. Next up, their attention to detail. ISTJs don't miss a thing. They read the ones spotting typos in a 50-page report or catching a tiny error in a budget spreadsheet. This makes them amazing at jobs that require accuracy, like accounting, engineering, or anything where the stakes are high and mistakes aren't an option. Their fact-oriented mindset means they base decisions on solid evidence, not gut feelings, which is a huge asset in any team. And let's not forget their organizational skills. ISTJs love structure. Think color-coded calendars, detailed to-do lists, and a place for everything. They're the ones who keep things running smoothly, whether it's a household, a classroom, or a massive corporation. They thrive in environments where there's a clear system to follow, and they'll enforce that system like it's their personal mission. Another cool strength? They're pragmatic. ISTJs don't waste time daydreaming about what could be. They focus on what is and how to make it work. This practical approach makes them problem solvers who can tackle real-world challenges without getting lost in the clouds. And while they might not be the loudest voices in the room, their quiet competence speaks volumes. People trust them because they deliver, plain and simple. But no one's perfect, right? Even ISTJs have their kryptonite. One big challenge is their tendency to get stuck in the details. They're so focused on the here and now that they might miss the bigger picture. Imagine they are rebuilding a puzzle. Sometimes they are so busy perfecting one corner that they forget to step back and see the whole image. This can make them resistant to change or new ideas, especially if there's no hard data to back it up. Then there's their love for tradition. While it's great to respect what's worked before, it can make ISTJs a bit rigid. If someone suggests shaking things up, like switching to a new software or rethinking a process, they might push back hard, sticking to the if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. This can frustrate people who thrive on innovation or spontaneity. And here's a big one: social nuances. ISTJs aren't always tuned into emotions, theirs or others. They might come off as blunt or insensitive without meaning to, just because they're prioritizing logic over feelings. For example, if a friend's upset, an ISTJ might try to fix the problem with a practical solution instead of offering a hug. And that doesn't always land well. They could benefit from working on emotional expression and asking for feedback to soften those edges. Finally, they can be stubborn. Once an ISTJ decides something based on their careful analysis, good luck changing their mind. This determination is a strength, but it can also make them inflexible, especially in group settings where compromise is key. So, yeah, they're not flawless, but who is? The trick is knowing these quirks and finding ways to balance them. Now let's talk about ISTJs in the wild, aka relationships and teamwork. In personal relationships, they're loyal to a fault. They might not be the most romantic or expressive, don't expect poetry or grand gestures, but they show love through action. Fixing your car, planning a trip, or just being there when you need them. That's their love language. They're steady partners who value commitment and stability. But heads up, their reserved nature can make them hard to read. If you're someone who needs constant emotional validation, you might feel a little disconnected. ISTJs need partners who get that their care is in the doing, not the saying. And they might need a nudge to open up more. It is not that they done to feel, they just don't always show it. In teams, ISTJs are the glue holding everything together. They're not the ones hogging the spotlight. They'd rather work behind the scenes, making sure every detail's covered. They shine in structured group settings with clear roles, but throw them into a free-for-all brainstorming session, and they might get quiet or frustrated. They prefer working alone when they can, taking full responsibility for their tasks, but they'll step up in a team if everyone's pulling their weight. The catch? Their focus on logic can clash with more emotional or intuitive types. Say you're in a meeting and someone's pitching a wild, untested idea. An ISTJ might shoot it down fast with a "where's the proof" vibe. That's not them being mean. It's just their brain doing its thing. Teams can optimize this by pairing ISTJs with creative types who balance their practicality with big-picture thinking. It's all about playing to everyone's strengths. Now, let's talk about ISTJs in the wild, aka relationships and teamwork. In personal relationships, they're loyal to a fault. They might not be the most romantic or expressive, don't expect poetry or grand gestures, but they show love through action. Fixing your car, planning a trip, or just being there when you need them, that's their love language. They're steady partners who value commitment and stability. But heads up, their reserved nature can make them hard to read. If you're someone who needs constant emotional validation, you might feel a little disconnected. ISTJs need partners who get that their care is in the doing, not the saying. And they might need a nudge to open up more. It is not that they done to feel, they just don't always show it. In teams, ISTJs are the glue holding everything together. They're not the ones hogging the spotlight. They'd rather work behind the scenes, making sure every detail's covered. They shine in structured group settings with clear roles, but throw them into a free-for-all brainstorming session, and they might get quiet or frustrated. They prefer working alone when they can, taking full responsibility for their tasks, but they'll step up in a team if everyone's pulling their weight. The catch? Their focus on logic can clash with more emotional or intuitive types. Say you're in a meeting and someone's pitching a wild, untested idea. An ISTJ might shoot it down fast with a "where's the proof" vibe. That's not them being mean, it's just their brain doing its thing. Teams can optimize this by pairing ISTJs with creative types who balance their practicality with big-picture thinking. It's all about playing to everyone's strengths. So, where do ISTJs thrive professionally? Spoiler alert, anywhere that needs order, accuracy, and follow-through. Career assessment site highlights some top picks, and they're spot on. Let's start with civil engineering. Designing bridges, roads, or buildings requires precision and logic. ISTJ heaven. They can plan every bolt and beam, ensuring nothing falls apart literally or figuratively. Then there's accounting. Balancing books, spotting errors, and keeping finances tight. That's an ISTJ's playground. They love the numbers, the rules, and the satisfaction of a perfect ledger. Air traffic control's another gem. High stakes, clear protocols, and zero room for error. An ISTJ's calm focus keeps planes flying safely. Other great fits include roles like aircraft mechanics, where they can tinker with systems methodically, or security guards, where their vigilance shines. Even in leadership, like supervising correctional officers, their knack for enforcing structure makes them stand out. The common thread? These jobs reward their diligence, fact-based approach, and love for a well-oiled machine. But here's the key. ISTJs need environments where competence is valued and chaos is kept at bay. They hate inefficiency or sloppy coworkers. It's like nails on a chalkboard to them. So, if you're an ISTJ, look for roles with clear expectations and a chance to take charge of your own work. You'll be unstoppable. All right, ISTJs, this one's for you. How do you level up and live your best life? First tip, embrace flexibility. I know. Change isn't your favorite word, but practicing adaptability, like trying a new approach when the old one stalled, can open doors you didn't even see. Start small, maybe tweak your morning routine, and build from there. Second, work on the emotional side. You're a rock for logic, but connecting with people means showing a little vulnerability. Try asking a friend how they feel and really listen, or share a bit of your own thoughts. It won't kill you, I promise. Getting feedback can help you fine-tune this too. Third, step back for the big picture. You're a detail wizard, but every now and then, zoom out. Ask yourself, what's the end goal here? It'll keep you from getting lost in the weeds and make your efforts even more impactful. Maybe set a reminder to reflect weekly. It's structured enough to feel natural. Finally, celebrate your wins. You're so focused on the next task that you might skip the victory lap. Finishing a project? Treat yourself. Coffee, a movie, whatever works. You deserve it for all that quiet brilliance you bring to the table. Keep being you, but polish those edges and you'll shine even brighter. Before we go, here's a fun fact. ISTJs are often the ones keeping traditions alive, like that family recipe no one else remembers. They're also secretly proud of their knack for fixing things, whether it's a leaky faucet or a broken process. Oh, and famous ISTJs? Think Natalie Portman or George Washington. Cool, calm, and in control. So, what do you think? Sound like you or someone you know? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know if you're an ISTJ or just vibing with their style. If you loved this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more Psychiant goodness. Next time, we're tackling another MBTI type. Any guesses? See you then, fam. Stay curious, stay awesome. Thanks for watching Psychiant. Don't forget to subscribe for more personality insights, psychology hacks, and tips to unlock your true potential. See you in the next one.